Bang, bang, Southern Fried Gang. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing a little something different here. It is Southern Fried Sports episode 50. It's time to party, 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 party. Y'all get those comments in. Y'all get them going. We've got tons of things we need to talk about. So we're right now live on YouTube and Facebook. Facebook, YouTube, YouTube, Facebook. Good evening to everyone there. If you're on Facebook, you're not going to be here for very long. So I need you to go to YouTube. I need you to smash that like button, that follow button, that subscribe button, whatever, any of the buttons. Use your thumbs, send a comment, whatever. Because we've got a big episode planned this evening of Southern Fried Sports. I am your Southern Fried gentleman, JD Wyatt. Like I said, it's episode 50. So the number 5, the number 0 is going to come up many times this evening. We've got tons of stuff going on: NASCAR, NBA, NHL, college baseball, college basketball. We're going to talk about it all. We're going to take our time. We're going to do this right. We're going to make sure to touch and lift every rock imaginable. We're also trying to break a record on YouTube. 50 viewers, y'all. Is that too much to ask? 50 viewers live on YouTube for this episode. I think we can do it. If not, we can get daggum close. If you're anything like me, you're always coming up just a little bit short. I never thought I'd be here this long. There's a Too Short song that I'm going to mention later on. Must have superpowers, because I never thought I'd be here this long. 50 episodes. What an amazing time it is. So y'all, if you're on Facebook, we're going to talk about the NBA All-Star Game, the NBA Dunk Contest, Daytona 500. SEC had a first. And let's see who we can fry. Let's see who is going to get fried this evening. You never know here. Hey, play stupid games, win stupid prizes is my mantra. So we'll see who's playing stupid games this week, and we'll see who we can't fry up to no end. So with all of that in mind, big shout out Greenville Sports Media, Furman Joust, Beef and Rib, Arden's Burger and Grill, Dubby Energy Drinks, and all of you listening, all of the fans. I've already got, good gracious, 9 comments on YouTube. So y'all, like I said, it's about to be a party. So hey, y'all come join in. I'm going to get these other earbuds out my ear. We're going to shut Facebook down. Y'all make sure to go hit subscribe and like, though, on YouTube. And y'all be blessed, not stressed. We'll see you soon. All right. Goodbye, Facebook. Time to get focused. We got things to do. We got things to fry. We're going to go with our usual Southern Fried appetizers, entrees, and desserts. I'm going to get rid of these earbuds. I'm going to get comfortable. Oh my goodness. We're going to check out all these comments. Appreciate all you guys being here. All right. Bang, bang. It's time to get cooked. Let's see what we got going on. We got Mark. We got Gamecock Chuck. We got Pensman. Pensman, I know you've got some hockey takes that I'll mention later. NASCAR takes. They're coming up. Mark, speaking of episode 50, Mark and I, we just discussed this Rhode Island, and who was it? Rhode Island and William St. Mary's. Holy smokes, what a baseball game. 36-22. It got run ruled in the 7th. and we got robbed of our first ever 50-50 baseball game, y'all. And then not only that, Mark let me know it's the 4th highest scoring baseball game in college baseball history. Couldn't have been the 5th. Couldn't have helped a brother out. You couldn't have helped me out here on Southern Fried Sports. You couldn't have made it the 5th highest scoring game, man. I don't care. Lie to me. Lie to me. Make it just like, oh, I hit the 4 instead of the 5. It was the 5th. Because that would just tie into everything that we're going to do here this evening. Like I said, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I will straight fry you to death over here on Southern Fried Sports if necessary. First of all, let's start out with, like I said, the appetizers. And let's start out with NASCAR. What in the world were you thinking starting that race? Well, you saw the rain coming. You saw it coming. You knew it wasn't far off. And of course, everybody says they couldn't delay the race because POTUS, Donald Trump, he was there. He did a lap around. He ruined the broadcast there for a minute. They gave him the radio. And we sat there through like a minute of silence waiting on Donald Trump to say something about the NASCAR race. And nothing ever came about. And then finally someone said again, Mr. President, you have the radio. And then at that point he said, all of you guys are great athletes. You're great Americans. Doing a great job. And then they raced for 8 laps and the rain came. We've built up all this excitement. Everybody was ready to watch 200 laps of 190 mile an hour plus racing. We were all excited about it. And I know that you were excited about it because the NASCAR tweets and the YouTube shorts that I put out yesterday, they got tons of views. They got tons of interaction. Everybody had something to say about NASCAR when I posted something out. Whether it be, hey, should we move Daytona weekend? Why is the biggest weekend of the year the first weekend? Make that make sense. Please, anyone. Why is the biggest race of the year the very first weekend? And now I didn't look up the TV ratings, but I could, and I didn't. But you can't tell me that the last race of the season has near the ratings that the Daytona 500 does. And so they built up all of this excitement, all of this hoopla. And then the race gets shut down for 3 hours. At that point, man, I was almost just totally disinterested in it. You know, your excitement peaks. You hit that climax. Family show, eyes up here. Climax. And I've got another few jokes coming up for you guys later on. But when you hit that climax early on, it makes it very difficult for them to get it back. And now I will say, I did stick around. I did watch the rest of the race. And one of my other most interactive tweets last night was, initially, I said it was 100% Joey Logano's fault between him and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And, you know, this isn't something that a lot of people will do, but I'll backtrack a little bit. I'll backtrack. I will now place blame on both Ricky Stenhouse and Joey Logano. Because Joey Logano did try to back out. But he had 6 race cars behind him that were steady pushing. They're getting ready to hit the straightaway coming out of turn 2. There was no slowing down for him. He could have slammed on brakes and everybody still would have kept coming. And it may have been a worse accident, honestly. And so I'll place blame on both Ricky Stenhouse and Joey Logano just based on what he said in his interview. You know, people are always quick to judge. And so in this scenario, I was quick to judge. I said that was 100% Joey Logano's fault. He could have been more patient. He showed he had the fastest car. And even Kyle Busch said, when he got tangled up in this wreck, Kyle Busch said that Joey Logano was the fastest car to try to hurry up and get into a wreck. And that's exactly what happened. Exactly what happened. But then you got to account for everybody that was behind Logano as well. Because you saw the flames come out the car, so you know he's off the gas. And everybody else just kind of piled into him, kind of forced him under Ricky Stenhouse, and then all of the melee took place. And then here's one other question I have about NASCAR, y'all. Is Ryan Preece the new NASCAR test dummy? Because I don't know if y'all remember just a few years ago, last year maybe even, at Talladega, Ryan Preece went for quite the tumble. His eyes were blacked and bloodshot the next week, and he still climbed into a race car. And then you saw what happened to him last night. Literally nothing we've ever seen happen before. His front wheels, he does a wheelie, catches air, lift, flips. Is Ryan Preece the new test dummy for NASCAR? And then this is the last part of this NASCAR appetizer for y'all here on episode 50. I'm going to hit all these comments right after this. Again, thank you all for being here. Pensman, Chuck, Ben, I see you. Mark, I see you. All of you guys, appreciate you very much. If you could ever hit it right on gambling odds for NASCAR, I told Chuck this last night. I think he even mentioned it in one of his comments a minute ago. He was mad because he put 10 on Blaney to win. Not a bad pick there, Chuck. Not a bad pick. I picked Blaney or Elliott. Elliott got tangled in one of the wrecks. But Byron, though, 20-1 odds. He won last year. Just got the car back from last year. Couldn't race it, though. So he raced a new car and won again. Guess what? He don't get this car back until next year in February. And so during his burnout, he crashed it into the wall. Did y'all see that? While he was doing his burnout, Byron accidentally hit the wall. Was he trying to beat NASCAR specs, maybe? Because I remember when Jimmy Johnson used to win, Chad Canals would say, burn it down. And so I told William Byron that last night, man. I said, go ahead. I said, wreck that car. I said, you ain't getting it back till next year anyway, bro. Wreck it. Wreck it all to heck. But if you had placed $100 on William Byron to win, he was 20-1. You could have had yourself a smooth $2,000. I don't know about y'all. I could use $2,000. I told Chuck, man, if he would have won, he could have went on vacation. Oh, it was Cendric. It was Cendric that Chuck bet on. I got you, Chuck. Let's see if we can hit some comments. Let's see if we can catch up real quick. Penson Sports. Thank you, JD. Appreciate you, bro. P Digits in the house. The funniest man alive, by the way. P Digits. I don't know if y'all know. Regular comedian right here, this guy. He and Chuck, this guy. First of all, Chuck does a great job covering men's basketball, women's basketball for Gamecocks. Man, Gamecock women. Home win streak broken in classic men's basketball fashion. Smoked by UConn. Woo. We'll get into that in just a few minutes as well. And yeah, Pensman, I know Daytona 500. I know it's the Super Bowl of NASCAR. But how weird is it that it's the first, it's the first weekend of the season? So can you imagine, though, if, say, for example, we get to the Super Bowl and it gets postponed due to rain? You could see where that would be an issue, right? Which, by the way, on one of my previous episodes, if you guys have listened to me before, and Pensman, I solved why the Super Bowl is predominantly played in domes and warmer climates. Can you imagine putting together a halftime show if it's got 6 inches of snow on the field? Kendrick Lamar went more yards than the Chiefs during his halftime show this year in the Super Bowl. So do you see where that could be an issue? If you're trying to will out all these stages and all these props and all these people into a field that has snow all over it except for where the lines are. That'd be a huge issue. Huge issue. Ben Blaylock checking in. Good to see you, sir. P. Digits and Gamecock Chuck. P. Digits, valid, right? I wouldn't recommend slamming on the brakes at 45, 50 miles an hour very hard. Something's bound to lock up. Which, hey, there was a crazy wreck in the Xfinity race. Dude lost all brakes going into pit road, and he didn't have anywhere to go. Slammed into quite a few people. Quite a catastrophe. It was a good NASCAR weekend, though. NASCAR was great. P. Digits only on a NASCAR game, not in real life. Yeah, Ben, I just said I haven't checked the ratings, but we can see them. I have my phone available to me now. I'll look them up because, yeah, I'm curious about what the ratings are versus the Daytona 500 versus the championship race. And to me, it needs to be flip-flop or at least even, right? Opening day championship weekend. It should be like your two highest views, you would think. And then, yeah, I corrected myself here. Yeah, Chuck bet on Cindric. Hey, that was a good pick, too. Cindric, he's done well. Ben says, just wait until 2028. The Super Bowl and Valentine's Day are on the same day, from what ESPN said. Well, speaking of that, back to episode 50. And I'll go ahead and get this one out of the way. So we've been celebrating hard this weekend. I know there's tons of people who had birthdays. Uncle Richard, Blue, tons of family members. But most importantly, my oldest. He was born on Daytona Day, no less. Turned 5 years old yesterday. And we have 5 viewers right now, so that's perfect. Episode 50. I told y'all, the number 5, the number 0 will come up numerous times. The 0 one, though, that's a dessert. So y'all got to stick around for that one. Last comment here, P Digits. Letting off the gas will get you run over, which that's exactly what happened to Logano, which is why I said I backtracked initially on blaming Logano. I said it was 100% Logano's fault. And so I backed off of that, though, just a little bit. Just like this much. Just a little bit. I'm not a huge Logano fan. But as Kyle Busch said, he was the fastest one, had the fastest car, and he was the fastest one to get into a wreck. And so that covers our first appetizer, ladies and gentlemen. You know what's really good, though, sometimes? Blending two things together. Sports and comedy. I like, I try to be funny every now and again. Try to have a good time. Maybe even mix in a little rap music. It's even getting popular now for people to mix Alfredo sauce and spaghetti sauce together in these crock pot recipes. I've made one of them. I'm here for it. I am here for mixing Alfredo sauce and spaghetti sauce together. Are you? Because if you haven't tried it, you might need to try it. You might need to try it. Ooh, Ben, sorry I had to reach my phone. It fell out. I'll get that, Ben. I'll look it up. From JD Motorsports. Hey, I love a name. I love that name, JD. Not just because it's my name. It's a good name. You can do anything with it. Jack Daniels, John David, James David, Jonathan Dean, James Dean. There's just so much to do with the two letters, J and D. Just delightful, which I always am. Just delighted to be here with you guys. So let's switch gears finally off of this NASCAR appetizer. Segue. Gamecock baseball. They swept Sacred Heart. 45 strikeouts, 3 walks by the pitching staff. That's the type dominance I need to see. They hit the ball well. Not many strikeouts. Listen, you got to put the ball in play. You got to keep stress on the defense. So shout out to the Gamecocks men baseball team for starting out 3-0 this weekend. And then, as I mentioned, Clemson and jokes. I like to mix in a good joke. So Clemson had stiffer competition this weekend. Family show. Eyes up here, people. Stiff. Clemson had stiffer competition in the Shriners opening tournament for college baseball. Played a great couple of games. They even pulled a hidden ball trick. Started out 2-1, did lose one game, came back though against Oklahoma State. Again, they had stiffer competition. Started out 2-1, Gamecocks 3-0. Can't wait for this college baseball season to play out. I really can't. It is going to be fantastic. Gamecocks men's basketball team lost again this weekend. And then, as I mentioned, the Gamecock women, they also lost to UConn badly. P Digits. I'm okay with blaming Logano. He's the reason for the rain delay. And eggs being priced. I told y'all, funniest man around. I'm okay blaming Logano too. But you know what I'm mad about? I'm mad Ricky Stenhouse wasn't waiting for Joey Logano like he was Kyle Busch. Like, bro, you went and waited for Kyle Busch, but you weren't man enough to go wait for Joey Logano? Man, you better take your Sunny D and go sit at that hauler, bro. Man, I'd be sitting over there sipping a Sunny D. Can't wait to talk Joey Logano. What you thinking, man, wrecking me like that? And so with all of that said, ladies and gentlemen, Ben, hey, we're going to look that up. We're going to look up that stat. I got you, Ben. Give me 1 minute. I'll tell you what. Yes, this is coming up in a moment as well. That is coming up. That is coming up. Couldn't have done it in 5 seconds, though. They could have played right into the episode, too. 3 fights in 5 seconds, man. Hey, couldn't have helped me out a little bit with that one. So that'll come up, though, here shortly. We're going to take just a small little break. We're going to reset for a minute because we're going to change up topics. We're going to hit some entrees. We're going to continue to talk some basketball. Sorry, I'm taking a minute to look and see where I'm at. I told y'all, big episode. Got tons of stuff to talk about. We'll be right back. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, we're going to do some bad podcasting real quick. I'm going to see if I can't find these stats real quick. About the Daytona 500. Let's see here. All righty. So, for the Daytona 500, Ben, I hope you're listening still. Their last year's race that got postponed until Monday had 6 million views on Fox. All right. So now let's find out TV ratings for NASCAR championship race. And I got a feeling it's going to be way, way less than 6 million. So we're going to prove a point here on Southern Fried Sports. Well, I can tell you this. I would have to do some extensive research to find the actual championship race. But it looks like one of their lowest races was 1.33 million. And their next highest one, other than the Daytona 500, would have been 4.5 million. And so, again, though, that's part of the NASCAR problem. Their biggest race is on week 1. And their viewership just goes steady downhill after that. Pensman, what did you want to mention about my hockey takes, JD? You said earlier about my Four Nations takes. Well, yeah, hey, what I wanted to mention, Pensman, is y'all go make sure to subscribe on him for YouTube. He's got tons of shorts up about this fantastic tournament that's been going on. We've already had one comment about the USA and Canada fights. I'm going to tie that in here in a minute to this basketball talk we were doing. And yeah, Pensman, you always got good takes, man. I loved your NASCAR stuff. You did shorts. I did shorts. We're climbing up in those views. Mark, man, hey, don't steal my thunder. Don't steal my thunder. Y'all see it, though. We're coming to it right now. So, like I said, we're going to stick to the basketball theme. Did anybody even watch the All-Star game, though? Did anybody even care at all? Because I didn't. The Daytona 500 was delayed. The NBA All-Star game, furthest thing from my mind. sayonara. And then what really got me about the NBA All-Star game, y'all. LeBron James is my favorite NBA player. And I just can't deal with how a reserve must feel about him right now. If I were one of the reserves that could have possibly played in the All-Star game, and LeBron James announced earlier that he was not going to play instead of 2 or 3 hours before the game, I can't imagine how I would feel towards LeBron James. I'd be like, oh man, you a punk. You're a punk. You just robbed me of the opportunity of a lifetime to say that I'm an NBA All-Star. You even saw one of the players came out and said how surreal it was to guard Steph Curry in the game. You robbed someone of that experience, LeBron. All because you wanted maybe your ankle sore, load management. You didn't know your ankle was sore 3 days ago. You didn't know that you were not going to play the game and not give 100% anyway because it's a meaningless exhibition game, LeBron. Are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me right now? Like, I love you, LeBron. I root for you, bro. But this is the most ridiculous nonsense I've ever seen in my life. Meanwhile, as we mentioned, we've got the NHL guys playing in this Four Nations Cup. Ben's mentioned it. Pensman's mentioned it. We've all talked about the hockey stuff. Guess what? Y'all barely play in an NBA game, and these USA-Canada hockey players, they're ready to drop the gloves 3 times in 9 seconds. I almost wanted to say 5 just to make it up for the episode number 50 on Southern Fried Sports. Thank you all for being here. We'll get to these comments here in just a minute. But like, are you kidding me right now? What I just say a minute ago. Sometimes 2 things go really good together. Sports and comedy. Rap music and sports. Sports and rock music. I mean, we've all got those football songs, man, that they just hit. Welcome to the Jungle, AC/DC. There's tons of them. They all, you know what I mean? It's music that you know relates to certain sports movies. But the passion that these NHL players show in comparison to the NBA, you can just tell that they're all selfish. Selfish. All of the NBA players, they're selfish. I've tried to love it, man. I've tried to watch it. I've tried. I can't even watch the regular season, much less the All-Star game. So how many of you watched the All-Star game? But like I said, meanwhile, we've got USA Canada booing the American national anthem. Come on, Canada, man. Y'all better than that. Why y'all booing the national anthem? Come on, man. Why y'all booing us like that? Y'all know y'all about to be the 51st state anyway. Why y'all booing your own national anthem? Heck, every one of y'all live within 90 to 140 miles of the U.S. border anyway. Come on, Canada. But then the U.S., hey, guess what? They came out, punched you in the mouth, literally. And then they came out and they punched you in the mouth in the game. There's nothing better when that happens. I'm not one of those ones. I can't do it, y'all. I can't talk junk. I can't. We was playing air hockey and stuff the other day. As soon as I talk junk, bam, somebody hit a goal on me. I can't do it. I'm not built for that. But the USA, we're a hockey country now, baby. The NBA better watch out. I'm telling y'all. The NBA better watch out. Let's see if I can scroll back. We got, let's see. Yep, Mark mentioned that one. I mentioned that one. Coming to that one in a minute. Pinsman, hey, if you got a minute, check them. Check them and send them to me. Ben says that they need an NHL franchise in Maryland. He hates the Washington Capitals. Didn't like the format. Yeah, Ben, I didn't either. I couldn't even keep up with it. There was like 4 teams. Team Shaq, Team Kenny, Team Chuck, Team Candace. I couldn't even really find the reserve that LeBron robbed of a spot. That's what I really wanted to find. I wanted to find the number 1 reserve that LeBron robbed of a spot. I could not find it. P Digits, he said there was an all-star game this weekend. Yes, there was. Hey, you want to know the best part about it? Was Too Short. The halftime show or the pregame show, I don't even know. I just know Too Short performed. And he said, I can't believe I even lasted this long. Must be superpowers. Last 223,000 hours. Which is what we're trying to do here on Southern Fried Sports. Blending sports and rap and comedy all together. Pensman tells Ben that's the closest to Maryland you're going to get. Can't see them having 2 teams. They could possibly add a Virginia team. Sister loves the Caps. They don't excite me. Yep. Losing me on the hockey talk. Listen, I try to be versatile. I try to keep up with it. But I am not in tune. Listen, Carolina Hurricanes. That's who I root for in hockey. But I can't say that I watch them. P Digit says that the NBA is a divas game. Diva! Couldn't agree more. Pensman tells Ben he can root for the Penguins. Just saying. Sidney Crosby's the only guy he's ever cheered for. Sweden is up 2-1 now against the U.S., but that game doesn't matter anymore because U.S. is already in the final anyway. P Digit says the NBA left him in the early 2000s. P Digits, man, you only like 25. So what, they left you as soon as you was born? They dropped you off like they did to Stan Smith on American Dad and the Harlem Globetrotters. Words are hard. Y'all leave me alone. But yeah, there's an American Dad episode where Stan, he goes to see the Harlem Globetrotters and his dad leaves him with the Harlem Globetrotters. So yeah, the NBA did that to P Digits back in the day. Just straight left him with some foster parents. I didn't really get into it until LeBron. That's why I said he was my favorite player. Tons of hockey talk. Ben and Pensman going back and forth. You guys are all awesome. Oh my goodness, there's still so many more comments. Pensman, all right, he just texted it to me. All right, cool, I'll check that. We'll get to that. Goodness gracious. Gamecock Chuck, let's see here. What do you say? I'm going to have to go back and rewatch this episode. My oldest son that's in college called me. Yeah, you might have to do that. You might have to do that, Chuck. We've dropped some comedy. I've said the word stiffer more times than I would prefer to go back and count at this point. moving right along. Let's talk about Mac McClung, shall we? And no, I did not say hung. Good gracious, people. Mac McClung. I know I said it a little weird, but Mac McClung. Goodness gracious, we are blending everything here on Southern Fried Sports. But that was the one part of the NBA All-Star Weekend that I do enjoy watching, is the dunk contest. And holy smokes, it was a dud. It was a dud. 3 out of the 4 participants, Mr. Andre Jackson, Mr. Stefan Castle, and I'm going to brutalize this name, but I'm going to try to say it anyways, Matas Buzelis? Here, how do y'all pronounce this? Matas Buzelis. So first name, Matas, like toe Matas. Matas, like Matas. And then Buzelis, last name, Buzelis. And then here comes Mac McClung, who isn't even really an NBA player, y'all. I mean, he's basically a glorified Bronny James. He's a G League player, yet he's won 3 straight NBA dunk competitions. Make that make sense, please. Can anyone, like, should he just worry about jumping over cars and winning the dunk competition? Is that Bronny's ticket to being relevant, possibly? I would say so. I would say Bronny could do it. I mean, he's gotten better. He's improved. I still think he's a long way off, but he's improved. But Mac McClung, as Mark said earlier, and we hinted to, the number 5, the number 0, is going to come up numerous times on this episode this evening. Mac McClung hung up nothing but 50s. He didn't miss a dunk, basically. And if he did miss it, it was only once, and he killed it after that. These other dudes, I literally watched one guy miss 4 out of 5 dunks and still score a 40 out of 50. If you don't make any dunks in a dunk contest, correct me if I'm wrong, but shouldn't that score be 0? But Kara, my wife, she was like, well, maybe they based it on creativity. And I'm like, yeah, but he missed the dunk. Like, I don't care how creative you are. Make the dunk. I don't care if you go up there and do a windmill. I don't care if you go try to jump from the free throw line. I don't care. Just make the dunk. Like, I saw more dunks missed than 3-pointers in the 3-point contest. Like, what are we doing? What? You can't even make a dunk anymore? Meanwhile, Mac's out there jumping over cars, making the dunk. He also had one where there's one dude on a ladder holding one ball, and then there's another dude standing on the ground holding one ball. Mac jumps over the one dude holding the ball and dunks both of them. He made more dunks in one attempt than most of these dudes made all night. Of course he won the dunk contest. What a dud. What a dud of a dunk contest. Thank goodness for Mac McClung. Mac McClung, Hung, Lung, whatever you want to call him. Thank goodness for him, because he saved the NBA dunk contest. Speaking of jumping over, hurdles, episode numbers, people, cars, all of that, we are here on episode 50. I appreciate all of you guys being here. We've got some comments we're going to clear out. Y'all give me like 5 seconds. We'll be right back. All right, here we go. We back. I was just trying to get right for these comments. I've got a ton to catch up on. It looks like Pensman and Ben, Chuck, all of you guys, y'all are having a conversation amongst yourselves over here. Let's see here. Ben, Thursday's big game, USA Canada. Yep. Let's see how many times they drop the gloves. They're going to drop the gloves. Pensman, he'll be covering that game. He'll have some shorts up for you. Make sure to smash like, subscribe, follow, all of those beautiful things that we love to say on our shows and our podcasts. We have a team in the upstate South Carolina. They're a minor league team for the Kings. Yeah, Ben, we do. You talking about the Swamp Rabbits? I don't know what. You just said we, though, a minute ago when you were talking about Maryland. Now you're talking about we in the upstate. Man, I never understand you, Ben. I don't know. You're just a journeyman, Ben. You're all over the place, man. You're in Maryland. You're in the upstate South Carolina. Man, you be killing it. You just travel. Man, you better stay off them airplanes. And if you don't, man, if you're on those airplanes, just be safe. Might find yourself upside down. A lot of airplane craziness going on right now. Man, you couldn't pay me to take a flight. Nope. Ben says, nope, don't like the Hurricanes. He can go retire now. Brent Burns can, he means. Yeah, they were having their own conversation. Let's see here. We got Chuck. Let's see what we said. Yep, he said he was going to have to rewatch. We got that one. Houston, Atlanta are in the running. Yep, Pensman. Yeah, I'm going to pull that text up here in just a second. Atlanta's trying to get a team. Boy, you guys are just humming on that hockey talk. Right over my head. Right over my head. Oh, we got some inside information here, though. Ben says, my boss is part of the investors group that is building the arena in Atlanta. From what ESPN said, it's 98% locked in. Well, I mean, according to your boss, it sounds like it's pretty locked in. If he's part of the investor group. P Digit says, just call me Joe Dirt. What you mean? You got any whisker do's, whisker don'ts? I don't even remember all those fireworks he names in that movie, but Joe Dirt, great movie. Nobody wants you around. What if we're his family? It's my best walking. It's the best walking I can do. Let's see. Climax. Stiff hung. Where is this stream heading? Hey, I told you, man. The best things happen when you blend two things together. Gamecock Chuck. The only time I like the NBA is when the season is over. Whew. Unfortunately, it's like not until July, Chuck. Man, they stretch those playoffs. Man, they stretch those playoffs as long as they can in the NBA. Unfortunately, there's like literally as little off season in the NBA as there is in NASCAR. Like literally. Ben Blaylock, he's over here still talking about stuff. Let's see. If I got anything. Brandon, yeah. Braden Fiocco, yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying you still just claim we as we, and I just get confused sometimes. I'm just always confused, Ben. That's all right. I stay confused. Again, as Too Short said, can't believe I stuck around this long. 50 episodes. Let's see. Work for Salesforce. Marketing manager for them. Cool deal. Greenville Growl. That is the old school Greenville hockey team. That's back when we used to have the Carolina Rhinos Arena League football team, Ben. Yeah, the Greenville Growl. That was the first minor league hockey team in Greenville. Yeah, that was back though when we had the Carolina Rhinos. So I've cleared out all the comments. Appreciate again all of you guys being here. And so with all of that said, we are going to hit a couple of this number 5 and number 0 stories real quick for our desserts. I think we've had plenty of entrees. I'm full. Are y'all full? I'm full. I'm feeling wholesome. Feeling great. Love being here with you guys. It's always a fantastic time. And so with all of that said, I have a comedic story that I need to tell you guys. So this weekend, we had people at the house. It was my son's 5th birthday. There's that number 5 again. Happy birthday to my oldest son, Trip Wyatt. Also, shout out Addison. Shout out Uncle Richard. Shout out Tara. Shout out many, Owen, even. Shout out to all those guys that had birthdays this weekend. And Trip, though, he turned 5, and I just got to show you all the cutest thing ever. It's his first cleat, y'all. Right here on Southern Fried Sports. Trip Man, turning 5 years old. My little Spider-Man. He's going to try to play some baseball, so we went and got him some cleats. He said he wanted white, and that's what we got. So we've got him white. And so number 5, I told y'all the 50, I wanted to make it an important number. I wanted to tie a bunch of things into that. And so number 5, though, was a big number this weekend because it was Trip's birthday. But the funny story, though, that I have to tell is we're having all these people over this weekend. And some people asked my wife to make this cowboy caviar that she makes. And it's like jazzed up salsa, essentially, all right? It's got black beans. It's got, I think, black-eyed peas, diced tomatoes, some peppers, some onions, avocado. It's got all this stuff in it, and it's supposed to come with cilantro. And if anybody knows me, you'll know that I'm one of those weird ones. And I want to know what you guys have to say about this too. I am one of those cilantro, I can't stand it. It just has a weird taste to me. And so you either love cilantro or you hate cilantro. And I hate it. And so my wife made this cowboy caviar, man, and I was eating it, and I was like, oh. I was like, this is good. I was like, I don't taste any cilantro. And my wife was like, yeah, it's because I didn't put any in it. I was like, oh. I was like, you were thinking about me? I was like, you thought about me when you made this? I was like, you didn't put any cilantro in it? And she was like, no, we just didn't have any cilantro. And I was like, well, yeah, we did. And she was like, oh, I just didn't see it. And so here I was, though, this whole time. I'm thinking my wife done thought about me, y'all. She knew I didn't like cilantro, so she didn't put no cilantro in the cowboy caviar. But no, that wasn't it. She looked for it in the refrigerator and couldn't find the cilantro. So at least I had that in my back pocket. So at that point, though, I separated me out some cowboy caviar without cilantro. And my brother-in-law, he took a pizza slicer, and I gave him some cilantro, and he diced it up with that pizza slicer. And he put it into the rest of the cowboy caviar. And everybody was happy. Except for me. Because I was heartbroken. Because I thought my wife had thought about me. And she didn't. She just couldn't find the cilantro, y'all. She just couldn't find the cilantro. That was it. Golly, we had so many funny stories this weekend. We had a blast for Tripp's 5th birthday party. It was fantastic. I've got some shorts up. I've got him climbing a wall. There might be a video somewhere. I don't know. My sister has it, so I don't know where it is. There might be a video, though, of me climbing a rock wall. Who knows? We shall see. And so, ladies and gentlemen, with all of that in mind, it is time for me to hit a few comments. And then we've got our final dessert of the evening. Let's see what we got on comments here. Let's see. Mark says he uses Salesforce. That Diesel guy sent me his info to see if we'd sponsor them. Oh, yeah. That's cool, Ben. I just saw Diesel the other day at a Furman basketball game. Talked to him a good bit. Diesel, Cole Bryson on the fan update. Great dudes. Great dudes. As are you, Ben. Great dude as well. Oh, Pinsman. Oh. Yeah, here, let's check that real quick, though. Really? So I was right. So the Daytona 500 gets about 6 million views, 5 million views, maybe sometimes on a good day, 8 million views. Pinsman, though, sent me a text. Phoenix Championship race TV ratings, 2.9 million. So it makes no sense at all for NASCAR to have their biggest race of the season, race 1. I don't know how they can change it. I don't know how they can fix it, much like I have no idea how they can fix the NBA All-Star Game. I don't get paid to make those decisions. I just know they need to be fixed. Is that fair enough for everyone? Is that fair enough for everybody? I don't know how to fix it. I mean, I could try. I might know how, but nobody's asking me, nobody's paying me for it. And until that happens, I'll just sit here and complain about it like everybody else does. P Digit says that sounds pretty good. Again, Ben and all these guys, they keep having their own conversation off to the side. Man, it's awesome. I love having all you guys over here. No, I wasn't playing hide the cilantro, P Digits. No, it was right there in the fridge. Nope, it was right there in the fridge. It was not me that couldn't find it for once. Normally, it's me who can't find things. Pinsman, yep, right. Ben Blaylock, really no numbers. Yep. 2.9, that's awful. Right. So, yeah, that at least it should be balanced. You know what I mean? If you've got 6 million viewers for the opener, you should have at least 6 million for the final. And you can have whatever numbers in between that you want. But NASCAR, they've strayed too far from the South. They're reining it back in. They're getting there. They've had a couple of big weekends. The Bowman Gray race, their Clash race, I thought was fantastic. That was huge to bring NASCAR back to the grassroots like that. So I thought that was a huge deal. That crossed my mind too, Ben. Would you maybe swap it to Friday or Saturday? Sundays aren't always. Trust me, they had tons of people at the race all weekend. I mean, Daytona International Speedway was packed out there. But yeah, like I said, the one thing that really turned me off is like we had all this build up, we all got excited, and then bang, ran 8 laps and brought the cars back to pit road, and it rained, and they didn't race again for like 3 hours. So I mean, you hit your climax. Good grace, there's another one of those words, y'all. Sorry. Stiffer, climax, hung. Family show. I was up here. But yeah, I mean, you get people, you get them excited, you get them ready to go. They get ready to watch the race, take a nap during the middle, and then watch the end. And then here you are racing until 9 o'clock at night. Oh, I don't know if anybody wants that, Pensman. Oof. You might see a couple people quit if that were the case. If Ryan Preece has to run for a championship at Daytona, he might quit. Like I said, he's the new NASCAR test dummy. Fortunately for NASCAR, though, right here to this one, people watch football on Sunday, work on Friday, need a day to qualify. That's the good thing, though, about NASCAR is that they don't have football to compete with until the latter part of their season. But guess what? That's when the ratings drop. If I'm NASCAR, I condense the season. I would maybe go March to October instead of February to November. But again, y'all get me there. Listen, I told you we can solve all the problems. We could, if we stayed here long enough, we could solve all of the world's issues right here, right now. If y'all send me enough comments, send me enough thoughts, we could straight solve everything. We just did. We just solved NASCAR. NHL has already solved the NBA All-Star problem. Just do the NBA Four Nations and let them fight. Combining things are great. And that was one I forgot to mention. Hockey is basically UFC combined. You get to play hockey and you get to fight. Just let the NBA players fight too. Doesn't seem like a bad idea. Just let them fight as well. They are coming off of Phoenix, I've heard, though, Pensman. Phoenix is a bad spot for the championship race. I agree. I think it needs to be in the south. Southeast at least. Ben, I get that, but why do they not do like the Masters where they start the pre-race stuff, maybe make it Saturday be the day? The one thing though is you, even if it's a Saturday, you couldn't get rid of the rain. And everybody tried to come after me yesterday because I said that. But I mean, literally, the Daytona 500 is plagued by rain every year. It's ridiculous. Every year, the Daytona 500 is delayed by rain, one way or another. Just figure it out. I don't care if you got to move it to March. I don't care if you got to move it. Just figure it out. Put a roof over it. Put some rain tires on. Put a windshield wiper on. You can do it at road courses. Slow the cars down. I don't care. Just give me racing when they're supposed to be racing. And so appreciate all you guys, though, being here. P Digits, Ben, Pensman, you guys blowing it up. Mark was in here earlier. Golly, the comments are rolling. And I've got one more thing we've got to get into real quick before we get out of here, okay? We're going to tie this 5 and this 0 in a nice little bow, and we're about to slide on out. So, here's the question. And I will give you the list that I got, and then I will give you my answer. So, 5 and 0. Who are your top 5 athletes tied to the number 0? And so when I looked this up earlier, there was a list that was voted on by fans, over 4,000 of them. And Russell Westbrook came in at number 1. Damian Lillard came in at number 2. Robert Parrish came in at number 3. All NBA so far. Carmelo Anthony, number 4. Still all NBA so far. Jason Tatum, number 5. Still NBA. Gilbert Arenas, 6. Still NBA. It is not until you get to number 7 on their list, NFL player, Jim Otto, who wore the number 0. Number 8, Sean Marion wore number 0. Number 9, Kevin Love, back to the NBA theme again. But then you get to number 10, Bobby Bonds. How about that one? Bobby Bonds wore the number 0. So far, 2 out of the top 10 players that wore number 0, and I know NFL and MLB have restrictions against this now for the most part, so you don't see 0-1 worn very often. But this was voted on by 2,700 people. Number 11, Mike Bibby wore number 0. DeMarcus Cousins wore number 0. Andre Drummond. Then you get to another MLB player, Al Oliver. And so I came up with my own top 5 players or athletes or race car drivers who had the number 0. And I did use some of this list. And then I had an honorable mention. So I put Jim Otto, Carmelo Anthony, Bobby Bonds, Russell Westbrook, and then here's the one that hasn't been mentioned. You know I'm a NASCAR guy. Buckshot Jones. He used to race the 00, and so I'm going to count it. 00, Buckshot Jones. Let's see who we got here. We got P Digits, Bibby. Yep, Bibby's there. Bo Jackson. P Digits. Did Bo Jackson wear 0? Surprised he didn't come up on my list. I am surprised he didn't come up on my list. Let's see if I can get back to where I was, though, because there was a ton of them. But yeah, that's my last one, though. Buckshot Jones. Isn't that a great name, too, though? Buckshot. For a race car driver, no less. Buckshot. You got the whole shot. Buckshot. Jones. And then, again, Russell Westbrook, Jim Otto, Bobby Bonds, Carmelo Anthony. Honorable mention. Here's one you guys might remember. Tony Clark. They were the 01 P Digits. Don't play with me, man. I used to watch Dukes of Hazzard. They were the 01, not the 0. Good try. Good try, though, P Digits. But Buckshot, 00. And then, like I said, honorable mention. How about John Mayberry? Tony Clark, Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum, and no other than Don Baylor. Don Baylor wore the 0. And so, who are your favorite 0 players? And so, y'all, with all of that said, huge thank you for all the comments. We have reached 163 subscribers. If you divide that by 50 episodes that we've done, you get 3.26 subscribers per episode. So hopefully that continues to be the case. Hopefully we continue to grow. We are at a total of, give me one moment, 20,000 views on Southern Fried Sports right now, y'all. Total. 745 likes, 400 comments, and just this last week alone, we have 4.7 thousand views. So I appreciate you guys coming along on this ride with me. As I said, I tried to plan an epic episode number 50 for you. Number 5, number 0. Big deal. Baseball game. Could have been 50-50. My son turned 5. I gave you the top 5 athletes to ever wear number 0. We fried Lebron. We're going to be at the SoCon tournament coming up in a few weeks. Make sure to stay tuned. We got plenty more coming. Also, shout out to Sideline Sports Network. Southern Fried Sports will be your new contributor for Sidelines East Tennessee State University. We got big things going on. Couldn't do it without all of you guys being here. Couldn't do it without all the comments. So thank you, Ben. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Greenville Sports Media. Thank you, Furman Joust. Thank you, wife. Thank you, kids. Thank you, mother-in-law, father-in-law, Poppy, Sissy, everybody. And with all of that said, it's time to bounce on out. I think we've burnt this chicken and these sports slam up for this evening. Y'all be blessed, not stressed. Just be kind. Just be kind to one another, dang it. That's all we ask. We'll see y'all again soon. And who knows what kind of guests and what we're going to cook next. But as for tonight, we are burnt. We are full. We love y'all. We'll see y'all soon. Good night.